All right, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Titan Talk. You got myself, Lieutenant Coop, and we've got our Captain McFarland here with us today, our local talent.
Hello.
So we want to thank everybody for joining. We appreciate you guys joining us today. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Happy Monday. And so
Yes.
today we've got some small updates dealing with daily pay, some stuff with that, along with direct deposit. And then we got some small Christmas updates that I want to get out. Just kind of going over some of the show stuff, and then kind of what we're going to get into a little bit of that. So, Captain McFarland here is going to grace us with these daily pay and direct deposit updates for you guys. So we'll get started with that.
So HR sent this out. Sorry, I'm using this off my phone. I didn't have time to print it. Just a quick little update. As a reminder, any changes to direct deposit with Titan Pay needs to be submitted through eHub. So make sure you're going through eHub for that. Um, HR won't directly deal with that. We need to go through eHub on that. So there's a message in Lighthouse they put out today. And if you guys haven't checked that or don't, that's why I'm bringing it on here. If
So,
you're
out of that curiosity on that, when they send that, is there a place they go to in eHub to do that?
Yes, I believe it's an eHub, and you'll go to like your settings, and it's the same. I believe it's very similar, the same as like when you try to change your address, it has to get verified.
Okay.
So you go put it in, it's like a request, and then it'll go through the system, and then you'll see an update there before too long, but it doesn't do it right away. And so that's from what I understand, that's how the direct deposit works. I set mine up 5 years ago when I first started, so I haven't messed with it
Not done
since,
it
but
since.
we have a few people that were getting out of the paper check, which is great if you can. I know I understand some circumstances don't allow for that, but just make sure or try to get direct deposit if you're able. My direct deposit, the bank I use pays me early, so I get paid like
Keep bragging.
yeah. Well, once you're paid early once, and it's pretty much on time the rest of the time because it doesn't come any earlier.
It
It's just a
shows
few
you.
days before everybody else. Yeah. And so usually the day that HR runs payroll, I get paid around 4 o'clock. So if they run it, which is nice, if it's like on a weekend and they run it early in the week, I'll get paid a couple days early. So but so that's one advantage. Plus, you don't have to come here and pick up your check. And so try to do that. And like I said, go through eHub. The other reminder is if you are a client of Daily Pay, you must update your direct deposit to their application. So people will call and be upset with HR. We don't have any control over that stuff. So that's just the way it works with the companies or the programs that we use. So we have to kind of play by their rules. And then also, if you're trying to reach HR, please leave a voicemail. But always, unless it's something pressing, email is probably the best form of communication just because our HR department's not very big and there's a lot of officers. So it's real similar with the LTs and the other supervisors. Unless it's an emergency, try us on email because we're going a lot of different directions at once. So just want to clarify on that. So don't forget to check Lighthouse updates and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of things that would be important for the employee base as a whole. So like your enrollment stuff for benefits or anything that involves your or HR, you're going to see a lot of updates through Lighthouse. So just don't forget to check on that every once in a while. I think some people have it set up to where it goes to your email. Maybe I'm not sure, but make sure you're taking a peek at that. And that's why I brought it up today because it's happened a few times in the last couple of days. So it was kind of a hot topic, and we thought we'd bring it up. So.
Something else with that, guys, with daily pay. If you guys use daily pay, when it comes to your paychecks, I'm pretty sure, and Captain, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but once you sign up for daily pay and that's what you're using, we don't really have anything else to do with that. It's if
Yeah.
there's any issues with daily pay, you have to go directly to them. So if you come to us with it, there's not a lot we can do on our end, even through the back end. You have to go through daily pay because they get all that information. They're the ones handling all that. So if you're using daily pay and you're running into issues with daily pay,
Yeah,
you can
if you don't think your check's right or something,
you'll
don't
have to reach out to them.
HR no longer handles that portion because when you set it up with Daily Pay, you're basically saying, "Hey, Daily Pay, you're going to
Manage
take
my
over this or manage it."
yeah.
Yeah, from here on out. So,
You
and
know,
take advantage of Daily Pay if you need it. It's nice. It's a nice benefit or a perk. Um, I still haven't signed up for it. I don't think I will, but
no,
there's plenty of people that could take advantage of it.
that's kinda one thing that I opted out of personally is because there's too many hands in the pot for that for me, is it just makes it a little concerning, so if it's something you use, fantastic, I've been I hear it works.
Yeah.
It's just for me personally, it's not something I like
And
using.
Titan doesn't make any money off of it. We actually
We pay for
we
it.
pay for it because we don't have enough employees. So But we've gone over that in previous podcasts. That money talk's always boring. But yeah, I mean, if you use it and like it, good for you. It's just I feel like I'd be pulling money out too often, and then come payday, I'd be like, well, So I try to manage my budget on that. My wife is fortunately really good at that, so I say here's what I made, and give me what I can have, and then
Pay
pay the
the
bills with
bills.
the rest.
Uh,
But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Daily pay is going to be who you go through, and then if you're trying to do direct deposit or stuff like that, anything to do with banking is going to be eHub and Daily Pay.
Perfect. So thanks guys for joining us, Suzanne. You think Captain McFarland got all the cookies? I didn't get any,
They were
so
delicious. Thank you.
I'm a little upset at that. No one even told me they were here.
There's
Not
two,
mentioning any
and two
names.
is one, and one is none. So
So
two went into my belly.
I hope they were good. I did not get to enjoy those.
Thanks for not poisoning me. So I've always been. He knows this. I'm weird about taking food. I won't ever do it in the field or anything, just
No,
because I'm just
I don't in the field.
makes me nervous. But fellow officers, I trust. So they were good. Thank you.
So other than that, let's see. Billy, you're having issues. Your lighthouse won't load. So when it comes to stuff like that, if you guys are using the applications and the applications stop loading or stop working, usually what that means is there's an update that didn't go through completely. The easiest fix that I've run across for that is
Close it out.
delete the app and reinstall it. It's the
Yeah.
easiest solution I've come across. If that doesn't get it fixed, let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Don't
But
forget.
generally, that's the easiest way to fix that part.
Yeah, don't forget too. Then you're going to have to remember your login information. So if you are somebody that makes different passwords for different applications, make sure you have it written down or saved somewhere, because we'll have to reset it. It's not the end of the world. It's the sort of thing that happens during the day. Then we've had a pretty good day, but um, sometimes we get caught in this circle of having to reset these same accounts, and it just gets a little cumbersome. So make sure before you delete it, you know what your login info is, and that should be either on your packet you got as a new hire, or if you updated it somewhere, hopefully it's here. But just keep that in mind.
I'll tell you, I have enough because of everything we do. I have enough passwords. I can't remember everything. I've got a little book that I keep in a secured position that has a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the common ones that I have to log in with and stuff like that. Or if I, some of my stuff like my scheduling stuff is set to auto log, and so I don't need to remember that. But I've got the original one written down in that book just in case I forget it or I need to do something and they need it.
I have like
So
2 or 3 that I fluctuate through. So if the first 2 don't work, I usually know which my last one
I've
is.
never
So
done that. I've
I
never
just
had.
kind of rotate, but I use one more often than the others. So if it's not that, I know it's either one or 2 other ones.
Yeah. Other than that, when it comes to that stuff, guys, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to us and let us know. We'll do what we can to help. But those are some not big, but some updates on that stuff for those.
Some reminders.
Yeah.
Reminders.
Some
Christmas coming up.
Christmas coming up, so some
2
updates on
weeks.
that. Um,
Is the
keep in
sun ever going to
mind,
come back out?
yeah,
It hasn't been out for like a week now. It's getting really
Billy,
depressing.
Billy J, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your work day, what's left of it. Some updates for Christmas, guys. Keep an eye on your schedules when they come out for Christmas. Some hours are going to change. Some clients are requesting additional hours. Some clients are getting rid of some. So please keep an eye on your schedule for that stuff. It is some of the just keep your eye on it, guys. Some of that stuff will change, and if you guys don't check it, you might show up to a post that isn't scheduled or they don't have coverage that day, and it makes things difficult. So keep an eye on that. If the hours change, it will be on your guys' schedules. I do my best to keep up with that with clients. Not
Yeah.
every client keeps up to date with that on with me. So if I don't have the information, I reach out to them in hopes to get it beforehand. So
Yeah, usually within like a week, 2, if
yeah,
we haven't gotten an update, he'll
I
reach
start
out, or
calling.
we'll jump in and help him
Yeah,
and just be like, "Hey, last year you did this. Are we doing the same again?" Or just making sure. And so that way, I'll say this, and
read it.
yep, because I'm gonna say it, but it's not like you're gonna go to bed on Christmas Eve and then you're just
Can't say that. I've had clients reach out to me last notice, like the day before, and they're like, "Hey, I forgot to tell you." And I'm like, "I've been reaching out to you for 2 weeks now." And they're like, "Yeah, we kind of forgot." I'm like, "Yeah, I figured." But it happens, you know.
Inevitably that burden falls on us at that point to make it work, and so sometimes
But it
sometimes
happens.
it is a pain.
Everyone, we're all busy with staffing the way it is and everything like that. Everybody's running amok. So some things will change last minute. We do the best we can to mitigate that, so you guys don't really feel that. But sometimes it is what it is.
Well, and also if there's going to be, I think some of the retail stores have a reduction of hours. They're either open later or closed sooner, and
We have
so
some of them. So if you guys are interested in working on Christmas and stuff like that, your normal schedules post closes. We do have some retail locations that will be open, not open to the public, but there'll be
like fire
officers there.
watch,
Yeah, because they got stuff that is either being worked on or that needs constant monitoring to make sure the building doesn't burn down.
easy hours.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that stuff if you guys are interested. There will be hours available. Um, Also keep in mind for those of you who work locations that might close or close early, you guys will have edited hours. So I do the best I can to keep it as equal as possible. But just keep an eye on it. If you're interested in working, let us know. We'll do the best we can on that. Um, that way everybody gets a fair treatment on that. For those of you that have time off, I hope you enjoy it. If you can get it, I'm still working through on that, so give me some grace, taking this role over. And the state that I got it, not everything was done up to par and where it was done and completed. So kind of just give me some grace on that, guys. If you have time off for Christmas that either hasn't been looked at or not, you guys are welcome to reach out to me and say, double checking on this. So it gives me a point of reference to go back to and to make sure that everything was taken care of. So, um, something else on that for our military employees, if you guys have a copy of your drill schedule, normally I would have gotten this out last month. Unfortunately, I've been a little behind, like I said, behind with this stuff. Send me your military stuff so I can get that updated in the system. Roman has been exceptionally helpful with this as well and helping me keep up with it. So if you don't see it in there or you don't know if you got it to us, just send it to us and get it to me so that we can get it started.
Yep.
Other than that, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Ours was pretty good for being a weekend. It is going to be some other updates. It is going to be cold and rainy all week. So please dress for the weather.
Jackets are here if you need them.
We've got more going out. They just went out last week. We'll have those back in soon, so we'll have more to get out to you guys out in the field. Um, under
That's
Under Armour layering is important when it
yeah.
comes to this. Please make sure that we are dressing for the weather because it is going to be excruciating if you don't.
That's something that we're gonna, rely on you guys to get with us on. And like we said before, if you work an outdoor post, you should already be taken care of. But if you're not, then you're bumped to the top of the list. I've got all sizes still available, so they're pretty nice jackets. I may or may not have snagged one for myself, but
He did. I watched him walk in with it this morning.
it was nice out at
He
range
also,
because
in his credit, he hasn't had a jacket. I don't think he's ever gotten a
never,
Titan jacket.
nope. Never
So
had one, so they're
I
nice.
won't yell at him too
They'll
much for
keep you
that.
warm. Yeah, if you're gonna be outside for hours on end, which I don't really think too many of our posts outside of patrol really does. It'll keep you warm. You may want to throw on like a long sleeve underneath your uniform shirt if you're working one of the PRNs. You're working a temp gig that's strictly outside the whole shift. You may want to layer up a little bit, but they're warm and they're pretty good against the wind. Out at range where we're at, it's really windy and it stood up to the wind pretty well. So, and we're out there for hours at a time
Yeah.
without anywhere to go.
Gary, to answer your question, we do have some long sleeves in, but it's not a ton of them. I and Lavi, thank you for mentioning it. I am a little raspy today. I am feeling fine. With the weather change and everything, it has messed with my voice a little bit. So I've been a little.
It gets like this every once in a while
Mhm.
because we talk all the time,
Yeah.
and when we're stressed or
Uh,
have worked a lot of hours recently, start parts of the body start not working as good as they should.
Gary, at the end of the podcast, go ahead and send me a text message, and we will get you squared away if I've got one. So, but yes, I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything like that. It's just with the weather change and everything that way. Usually around this time of year, you will start to notice a lot of the more raspy voice more often than not. So that coupled with the fact that we're always talking, we're always doing stuff with clients, each other, and stuff like that, it takes a little extra toll on me this time of year. Let's see. Took extra hours this week and we'll be asking for more. You're always welcome to ask for more hours, guys. If you ever want them, they're always available. I'm not made of unobtainium like McFarland was when he got it. Watching from bed. Yep. I heard you're feeling a little down today, so I'm glad that you're able to watch and feel a little better, hopefully. Lobby's feeling a little sick.
That's that time of year.
Open for anybody who's feeling sick to keep themselves from being sick the best you guys can. Take care of yourselves. A big one on that, guys, is staying bundled up and staying warm and stuff.
Yep.
If you're starting to feel
Washing your
ill or
hands
washing your hands is a big one coming
and
from
your
our
body.
resident germaphobe.
Yeah, and your body. Do both.
um, but no, layering, keeping yourselves. That's my train of thought there. Keeping yourselves healthy is the
Bundled up.
big is a big thing there, guys. So, and you might wind up sounding like me, but you might wind up being fine. Everybody today has been like, "Are you okay? Are you sick?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm not sick." Just a lot going on. It's caused a little bit of stress on the body.
Yep, that's pretty normal. What else is new?
This Friday will be another reaction video.
Mhm.
Captain McFarlane is super happy about that.
Can't wait. I love the stomach drop. It's always really fun. It's
um,
going to be a
and then
vehicle stop or a warrant search, or I mean, a service search
I am not
warrant.
telling you
Or
what it is. I'm not even getting. I don't. So you guys know when we do the reaction videos, the only person who has any idea what's going on is me. Everybody else is 100% cold into it, so they have no idea what's going to happen, how it starts, nothing. It is completely a raw reaction from them. I'm also working on getting to where I can show a cam of their faces going forward as well, so you
yep.
guys can watch the stomach drop on them.
We're constantly evolving and trying to keep up with all the other cool podcast people out there. Um, with that being said, is if there's anybody admin wise you guys want us to have on the show, we haven't had a guest, and I mean besides Leon, but you know the he's not fun to have on. But, just change it up a little bit. Yeah, but be careful. I'm never coming on the show again. But
We will be doing. I have
we'll
spoke.
take suggestions.
I will. I will say I have talked. I have spoken. That was weird.
Talkative too.
I was about to say that. I have spoken to Mr. Smith. Closer, probably the show after. I want to say not the Monday after Christmas, but that Friday before New Year's. We're going to be doing one specific show. It is going to be an end of the year show with the owner of the company. It's going to be myself, Captain McFarlane. It's going to be Josh Leon, and it's going to be Ryan Smith. And we're going to be doing a beer with the boss type thing. So it's kind of going to be a relaxed show. We're just going to BS a little bit, kind of like what we guys do on the non-shop talk thing. And we're going to be talking about Titan.
It's
We're
gonna
going to
be
be
NA beer.
It's just going to be a little kind of like a relaxing show for the end of the year. He's going to hopefully we can get him to say some congratulations to guys and just thank everybody for their hard work and everything like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't believe the year's almost over.
I know, dude. I was looking at it earlier,
It's
and I
insane.
said just before we walked into the podcast, I looked at the guys where I'm sitting next to now, and I was like, guys, it's 2 weeks till Christmas, and everybody stopped and went, "What?" I know, it throws everybody off. Christmas Eve is into next Saturday, and then Christmas that Sunday. It's crazy
Yeah,
how quick it went and how close we are to it now.
it
And
starts snowballing pretty quick.
yeah,
But
Diego, we did miss you. I'm glad you made it, man. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to today. Just some basic updates. We've got a reaction video this Friday. Um, the show for next Friday will be a pre-recorded one. Myself and Captain McFarland are going to be doing a pre-recorded show for that, so he gets to enjoy the holiday with his family, and I don't have to force him to come in. But we all know he loves when I drag him here.
sometimes.
So that'll be a pre-recorded. We'll probably do that. I'm not sure when we're going to do it, but we'll do it here soon, probably this weekend or Friday. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do it while we're here, but if we have to, we'll swing in on a day off and get it knocked out. So usually what happens is I come in on a day off, then I start picking on projects, and then also I'm here for a couple hours.
Next thing you know, it's 5 hours later, and you're like, "Oh
Yeah,
no!"
it gets me prepared and ahead for the next week, so can't complain. So
But other than that, Diego says he still hasn't bought us our Christmas gifts of our ramen. I thought you weren't going to after our last conversation on it.
yeah, there's this what?
As long as it's not beef ramen.
Yeah, beef, and what was the other thing that he?
It was
Oh,
beef.
the cucumber Gatorade.
Oh god,
Gross.
we just ignore that part. But other than that, guys, there's not a whole lot to it. It's kind of a basic one, super simple today. Like I said, weather's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. It's supposed to rain. It was supposed to rain all day today, but I guess they pushed it back to tomorrow.
Yeah, it was
It's
supposed
like
to,
a
and
90% chance tomorrow or something like that.
yeah, it's gonna rain all day.
So I mean,
No
that's
sun, no sun in the forecast.
I think, and next week's not any better. I think next week, I think the highest is Tuesday or Wednesday, like 17 degrees. That's crazy.
Fantastic.
We went from having 60-degree weather to this week where it's 40, and next week's going to be below 20 almost all week. Like I think it's all week. It's gonna be below 20.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on here. Well, I have the L2 for this time, so I like
He's
to take my
monitoring
hands off the steering wheel for very long. So
monitoring the ship while we're doing
yeah,
this.
so
But
that's I'm kind of not engaged. I'm just takes a lot of concentration, so I apologize. Usually we have one of the guys in here, but they had a pretty rough weekend. Not rough, but just busy
it
weekend.
was busy.
Yeah, we had a lot of use of forces and stuff like that. So remember, guys, if we can talk somebody down and get them to leave, that's our main goal. We talk about it in orientation
We
is
actually
customer
You know,
service.
it's funny. We have a de-escalation video on YouTube. If
Yeah.
you guys haven't seen it yet, go to our YouTube videos. We have a de-escalation one where we go over de-escalation, the advantages of it, how to properly do it, and stuff like that. It's not golden. It doesn't work for every situation,
No, I mean
but
you.
it's really good information
Yeah,
to have because if you can, 99% of the time, you'll be able to talk. You'll be able to talk and figure out what's going on and use that verbal de-escalation, that verbal judo. That's why I've always been told it's been called.
yeah,
You can use that in talking, and that's our biggest weapon, our biggest strength is our mind, guys. Is
yep.
when we can do that and have that conversation and get it worked out that way. That's always the best one.
Yeah, we've had guys that have worked here, some have come and gone, and some that still work here for years and years and years. And it's not because they're, locked away in a basement and not actually engaging with people, but they've never even had to use anything on their belt, whether that be handcuffs, a baton, OC, God forbid, ever had to draw their firearm. In those situations, they've just been very good at articulating, hey, this isn't worth you getting upset over. It's not worth, getting trespassed. Let's go on down the road or whatever the case may be. If you can get somebody if you can kind of get to their level of where they're at as far as, whether they're having a bad day or if they're, depressed or something, if you can make some sort of connection with them verbally, they're much more likely to respond in the positive way we want them to, which is, you know what? You are right. It's not worth stealing today. It's not worth this today. It's go on down the road to the next one. So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not laughing at what he's saying. I'm laughing at now. I've got Gary says I can't believe McFarland hasn't talked about football in the last couple of
that's
podcasts.
true.
Diego goes, Gary, who's gonna get mad?
Well, speaking of,
Last I
yeah,
did.
they scared. We were up 20 something to nothing, and then they ended up winning like 34 to 20 something.
Wait, it was what?
Yeah, it was 20 something to nothing. So
They were losing?
no, we were winning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we kicked
I
2
was
field
like, whoa.
goals, so 21 plus 6, 20. I think it was 27 nothing, and we ended up winning like 34 to 28. So
Weren't they? Hold on, real quick.
no,
We
the
all know my.
Broncos are awful.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say.
No, they're not
You were gonna
good.
ruin it. I was gonna say, weren't they playing the Broncos?
Yeah, yeah, they were.
Hold on, I'm real proud of myself for knowing that
Or he's a
because I never would have. Like, that's not something anybody would expect me to know.
no, no. I mean, there's weeks sometimes where I'm like, who are we playing this weekend? So I don't always know. I just know when the bye weeks are. Usually I do. But no, they definitely the Chiefs know how to make games close.
See,
What
that's
they
kind of like what they're known for, though. Is like they'll do really good like
yeah.
first quarter, second quarter, and then third quarter they kind of drop off the face of the
There's some teams that aren't very good post halftime. They don't make good adjustments. Chiefs really do. Coach Reed's so good at kind of
Thanks, Gary.
having
A round of
Coach
applause.
Coach Reed's good at having a strategy, and then he's willing to abandon that strategy if needed. Usually, the one he has pregame works during the game because he's just a damn good natural coach. That guy. When I met him at Union Station when we were doing security down there, he was like the coolest. I met the entire team at the Super Bowl parade and during it, and so, but he was by far the coolest one. He just has like this aura around him that he just is a natural born leader and people want to follow and learn from him. So he's always in my eyes been really good at that. But for some reason we just what people call is they play up to your opponent or play down to your opponent, which is if the team is really good, they'll play against them
Real
well.
quick, guys, I want to make mention. He's probably doing this for my benefit, not your guys's. Just want to make that known because so far everybody who has watched our podcast has shown the fact that they understand football much better than I ever will. So if he's describing something, it's for me. Just want to put that in there.
Well, no, there's plenty of people out there that don't watch, but it's just it's such a fun sport to be a part of and to watch and something down the road. I think my brother and I are going to
I'd rather just watch cars racing. It's more
fun
fun to
too.
me.
I'm a NASCAR guy.
Okay,
I'm
not
definitely a
NASCAR.
NASCAR guy.
NASCAR's a little
Oh,
left
NASCAR's
turn.
great.
They're making a left turn.
No, they have a bunch more road courses this year.
I had someone tell me that the only reason people watch NASCAR is to wait for an accident.
I mean, some people
and it's
do.
not wrong.
Some people do. These new cars, the new generation of car, is they really can push the limits on what they're doing, and they've got these diffusers now that are
Mhm.
underneath, and so the way they push and draft and stuff nowadays is a lot different than it used to be. So it gets people squirrely pretty easy. So you see
I love looking at
a
when
lot
it comes
more
to
action.
racing and when it comes to racing in general, I love looking at like the aerodynamics of the vehicle,
Yeah.
the power to weight ratio, and seeing how all that plays out. And like, I don't watch racing for the traditional stuff of seeing who's going to win or stuff like that. I like looking at the vehicles. I
Yep.
like watching how they make
But the
it.
sprint
And
cars are so cool.
hmm
It's
I like
800 horsepower tube with a huge wing on
yep.
top, and they race on dirt, so they turn left, turn right to go left. It's insane.
When I think one of my favorites is Baja. But I also grew up in the desert.
I
One
think
of
we've had this conversation before.
mhm.
That's one of the few forms of racing that I don't like. I don't know why.
But it's so cool to watch how some of these guys do
Those
it.
trucks are insane.
Dude, you're talking some of these trucks have and there's a limit, they can only have so much horsepower and stuff.
It's like
But
1,500 horsepower, isn't it?
mm,
Yeah,
I think it's 1350 is the
that's
max.
insane.
And some
Well,
of
and they
these
have different like classes and
yeah.
stuff. So yeah,
And some of these guys, dude, it's just the way they build their vehicles and the thought that goes behind it. Like when you look at race vehicles when it could be NASCAR, it could be whatever it is, sprint, it could be
the
Baja and
craziest,
all of that extra
in
stuff.
my opinion, the guys are the craziest are the rally racers.
Those
Those
guys are
like 100
sadistic.
miles an hour on like a cliff edge,
You know
and
what?
they're
You know what's crazy to me
it's
about
insane.
rally racing is it's the fact that the driver has no idea where he's going. He's got
Yeah,
someone in the back seat or in the side seat
yeah.
next to him,
Tell them with the
and
little paper.
all he says is left in 20, right
Yep.
in 15, right
Yep.
in 30, right in a mile.
Yeah, there's a
And
number because I used to play the games
yeah,
on Xbox. So like 1 through 6 is like the severity. It's like a 1 is like a slight bend, and a 6 is like a almost
yeah,
like a U-turn. And yeah, those be like
and
right 4 in 100 meters, and just like, "Meh."
and just
And then you
like
have the guys with
listening
the
to him.
cameras. Those guys are even crazier. Like they're sitting there in the car
Just
to literally take this person's arm off, and he's sitting there just
what
videotaping them.
I watched a video. This was 2 or 3 years ago. I was watching a rally race, and one of the things that absolutely just boggled me is there was a camera guy sitting on a corner. This rally guy came around the corner at like 90 miles an hour. Hit the corner. I mean, beautifully drifted the corner through there. This is a camera by like 3 inches.
Yeah,
And the cameraman just stood there. Didn't
didn't
move,
even phase
didn't
them.
react, acted like nothing was going on. I was like, no, I would have dropped the camera and ran personally. Let's see. Gary is apologizing for introducing us to sports again.
It'll happen.
Diego says we need to start playing to win, not playing to lose. It's a boring race without any wrecks. Some people watch figure skating for the same reason. You can watch anything sports related, whether it be basketball, figure skating, racing, football, hockey. The reasons will apply to just about any of the sports as long as you're interested in it. I don't think that really has anything to do with what type of sport it is. Drag racing, some drag racing's fun. Some of it's not so much. It depends on I think the class. So if you get into drag racing, whether using regular modified vehicles or high-end vehicles like that, where it's an old Chevy Nova, it's highly modified. That drag racing is fun. When you get
Street
into
outlaw, or sorry, street. I had put this in different positions today. My back
every
really
day,
hurts.
you change it,
So I was leaning on the table. But
but I mean,
Street Outlaws is pretty good.
yeah,
They made it they have to add some flair and some drama that doesn't really exist, but
I mean, like when you
those
get
guys
it,
are pretty fast.
yeah, yeah, when you get into like some of that drag racing where they're using, it's basically a jet engine on the back of it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool, but it's not real. In my opinion, it's not
Oh, like
fun.
the NHRA
Yeah,
where it's just like long,
it's that,
skinny,
and got those small
and the
tires.
tires are the
Yeah,
size of this table.
like it's
Yeah.
cool, and I love watching the power to weight ratio and watching those tires.
Yeah,
Like I
I'll
love the
watch a
slow
couple
mos.
passes, but after that, like
It's all the same.
that's yeah.
I think the coolest
Unless
part
you're
about it is what
really into it.
yeah. I think my favorite parts is watching the tires on those particulars because you
Yeah,
can
when they
see
slow mo
the
and they
slow-mo the
show 'em and
tires.
they're
That's
like
so
all
cool.
crunkled down. Yeah. No, and I had a buddy, that's elementary school, so it's 20 years ago, 20 plus. Growing up, that I haven't talked to him in that many years, but we were good friends when we were in elementary school, and he was a huge drag racing. And I remember him telling me, he goes, you'll never forget the first time you get that big whiff of nos
Oh,
after
dude.
they the whatever it's called,
The nitrous.
yeah, the nitrous, use nitrous out there. He goes, it's insane.
It changes your life. I
It's like
remember
the smell of the high octane racing fuel at like a dirt track.
oh,
It
yeah.
smells like stale beer and dirt track, and it's one of the best smells on the. It's like
I
if they
remember
can make a candle out of
what
it,
got
I
me
would love
introduced
it.
what's funny, what got me introduced to it is my stepdad had a buddy. All he used to do was build race cars for the longest time, and I mean, he had He had 3 Novas that were built out. I mean, I'm talking like Novas that are like 1,600 horsepower. It shouldn't even be. You shouldn't even drive these things. They're how crazy horsepower these things are. He had a Nova that was 2,200 horsepower, and you couldn't keep it on the ground. He had a 10-foot wheelie bar on the back.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, the tubes were like just to keep it on the ground, to keep the front tires down.
Yeah, that's pretty
And his son built one, and just before he pulled out the passenger seat, because they would pull out everything,
Yeah.
make it a full tube frame, full tube roll bar, and everything like that. Before he pulled out the passenger seat, he had cut the floor bar deck because he was doing some modification to it. Slid the passenger seat in, got me in that passenger seat, and he goes, "I'm going to bet you $1,000," and he taped it to the dash. So I'm gonna bet you $1,000. If you can take that 1,000, it's yours. But if you can't, you owe me $50.
For $100, you mean?
No, it was 1,000.
It's $1,000 bill?
No, it was hundreds.
Oh,
He
gotcha.
taped $1,000. I'm like,
That's cool.
he goes, if you can, he goes, whatever you can grab
Yeah,
is
just put it
yours.
back in the seat. You won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, but if you can't grab anything, you owe me 50. I was like, sure, why not? You're
I'm
gonna
not
offer me
taking that, man.
1,000?
I've heard too many stories about that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude, no,
There's
there
not
was
much
no
power in the
chance.
truck. Yeah,
There
there's
was no
way.
chance.
Yeah.
I didn't, I was like $1,000 for $50. Absolutely. We get to a straightaway. He goes, okay. As soon as the light turns green, this was one straightaway that had like it was 2 miles long. But there was a light just before because it was a four-way.
Yep.
And so we're sitting at the light. Totally legal for us to be driving a vehicle where we're driving it, but we didn't. It was in the country. Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah.
So we're sitting at the light. He goes, as soon as it turns green, he goes, I'm gonna gun it, and you're gonna reach. Sure enough, that
How'd
light
that work out for you?
not well. No.
Yeah. I've heard a couple stories about those. Like old grandpa that has like a Nova and it's just like puts a $100 bill on the dash
Yep.
and says if you can grab it, it's yours. And you're just like, "Wah," and you just
Oh, I
there's
paid
no
him.
way you can even reach
I
it.
paid him $50, dude.
Yeah,
There
I
was no
bet.
chance. He hit the gas. That light turned green. He hit the gas. We were gone. I was pressed so far back into the seat. It was horrible. Let's see.
Sorry.
Good. Diego says he's looking to do drag racing. Like I said, drag racing's fun with the right vehicle. I mean, it's fun regardless, personally. But Flavia, I agree. Rally is arguably the most amazing and underrated sport. It's fun, dude. I say that never been in a rally before, but I've been around rally vehicles and they're so cool. Let's see. Live right by a drag strip, and that's down in Topeka, isn't it, Gary? Right down there, loud enough that it's rattled the windows in the house. Yeah, we used to have them. My old home in New Mexico, they used to drive by periodically because I live far out in the country, and you'd see them testing their cars on our road because they paved it. So we had a rock quarry at the end, and so they paved the road for the trucks to make it a little easier for them. And they would drag down it every so often, and man, those cars would go by and it would rattle every window. It was so fun. Let's see. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's me, Diego. I like all the data that goes into it, all the thought process behind everything, managing the aerodynamics, the power and weight ratio, that whole 9 yards. It's just watching all that and how the math works behind it, and all the eggheads that do that. It's just amazing to watch how they put everything together. Heartland Park. I've never been. Um, there's a Kansas City Speedway down here that I've had a few people tell me that I need to go to. McFarland invited me one time for a NASCAR thing. Yeah, thought about it, never did though. Like I said, NASCAR is not really my thing, but I hear the Kansas City Speedway is pretty fun.
Yeah, I wanted to go this last year. I ended up not making.
Excuse
Probably
me.
try this year though. We did a temp event for
Yeah,
that.
we do NASCAR every year. I think we're doing it again next year, aren't we?
I think so actually. Yeah. Yeah, we've got we got some really cool temp stuff coming up.
Oh, we always do. For those of you who are interested in extra hours, keep your eyes open, your ears open. Lieutenant Roses will probably have some stuff coming down the pipeline that if you're interested, you could probably reach out to Sergeant Kavist and get some cool stuff out there. We always offer some fun posts, some interesting ones, and some ones that are just pure easy money. So it's always kind of keep your ears and eyes open for that stuff and reach out if you guys are interested. Because I guarantee you there's something out there that you're not considering. It would be an interesting shift, to say the least. I'm pretty sure everybody who worked in the NASCAR stuff was always fun. See, you've ridden passenger with a rally driver in his daily drive grocery car getter. Okay. In Sweden? Oh no. No, thank you. I would hate to see how those guys drive out there. They're crazy.
Yeah, no thanks. I think my little brother, they had a NASCAR event. He got to take he's got a nice Acura. He took that on to Kansas Speedway.
Oh,
He said
nice.
the embankments are like the
Oh, dude,
degree
some
of
of those
banking is
embankments are
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, he said it's wild. And then a buddy of mine, he's really into racing, and he said there's a bunch of cool things you can sign up for, where like you can ride with a NASCAR driver, and then
Yeah.
they let you drive it and stuff like that. So that would be fun.
I did back in New Mexico. I used to get a 94 Ford Ranger, signed up for bracket racing. And the funny thing is it was all about time. So it wasn't how fast you were.
Right.
Driving a 94 Ranger, it's not fast, guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's not fast. But it was whoever could get closest to their time would win. I beat 3 cars that were actual race cars because I got closer to my time.
Yep.
And I think it was fourth race, and I roll up, and this guy's car is an 8-second car, and they're like,
That's moving.
we're gonna give you 12 car lengths on this dude. So we're gonna start you, and you're gonna have 12 car lengths before he takes off. I'm like, make it to the finish line before him with that? Not even close.
Oh,
He still blew past me like I was standing still.
trans brake.
God, dude, it was so horrible. I'm sitting here driving, going, and I was like, this is great. I don't even see him. I was like, no, Ray win.
Yep.
He beat me on time. He was closer to his time by 1/1000th of a second than I was.
That's insane. Yeah. I used to just driving around. Hopefully my mother, I don't know, maybe just watch this. Driving around my Mustang back in the day. It had like 300 to 400 horsepower, I think is what we dynoed at. I used to just find people all the time just trying to mess around and drive stupid with them. And I remember this guy, he had it was either a Ninja, I think it was a Ninja. And so it's a
Motorcycle.
yeah, motorcycle. And I had never really known how much faster those were than
Oh,
cars.
dude, they blow him
And
out.
he blew my doors. I was like, what? How's that? And I was like, well, it's like
And
a
you're
couple hundred pounds compared to a
yeah,
3,200
you're
pound
talking
Mustang
about
with a big V8.
bike with 200 horsepower with 500 pounds versus 3,800-pound car with 500 horsepower.
Right. So I got some humble pie.
Oh, I love that, dude. I love watching vehicles that try to race someone like a lighter vehicle try to race a heavier vehicle, and you always see those guys that are always, my car is 1,200 horsepower, and then it's like, cool. That Acura,
Weighs 5,000
that
pounds.
Acura that's pushing 800 horsepower is half your weight.
Yep.
It's all-wheel drive to your rear-wheel drive. Yeah, but I got twin turbos. That's not going to help you, dude.
Nope.
Like, I love the fact that you got that confidence and you're putting that kind of power down. No, sir. No, sir.
Physics still wins.
You are going to lose.
Well, that's pretty much all I got. We got something we got to deal with
Kind
here.
of milk this, so we appreciate everybody stopping by. We're gonna cut it off. We appreciate it, guys. Stay warm, stay safe. We will be live this Friday with a reaction video.
Yep.
And we will be back Monday after that. So we appreciate it, guys. If you guys need anything, don't forget to let us know. If you guys have any videos that you want us to react to, send them to me. I'll look at them, see if we can get them used. Other than that, guys, questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. If you're watching this after the fact and you guys got anything to say, put it in the comments. I check them twice a week to make sure I stay up to date on those.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys out there. Again, stay safe, and we will see you guys next time.
Take care,
Thanks
guys.
for joining us.